So just we're going to start off with a couple of feelings, and I'm very aware of these feelings. There's a lot of people that I've been speaking with and a lot of clients that I have had these feelings. You're kind of feeling quite lost, especially, Sue, I suppose, in starting your new business. This would be a very daunting experience for you in terms of how to market yourself and how to get yourself out there. So there is so much information in today's age. There's social channels, there's Google, there's SEO, there's website. Oh, Heather. All right, Heather. Yeah, Heather's going to miss out today, but I'll send her the recording. So we'll keep going, and I'll give Heather a call. So sorry about that, Heather. So yeah, there's so much information happening. There is even global competition. So 10 years ago, we pretty much had our local competition, or maybe 15 years ago, we had a local competition, but now it's more global. Do you ever feel really overwhelmed? The fact that you don't know which social channel to even use. There is Twitter, there's Facebook, there's WeChat, there's LinkedIn, of course. There's a multitude of channels. It's Instagram, you've got your Pinterest. You don't know which channel is the best one for your business, or the best two. You're also feeling a bit disconnected. You don't even know who to connect with and how to position yourself to be found. So there are a few of the feelings that you may be feeling, and I'm hoping that I'm going to flip them on their head throughout this web event today. I'd like to give you a much more clear direction about why LinkedIn is really important and why it's an excellent social sales tool to use in your business, and it's very economical as well. I'd like you to feel in control. So LinkedIn is the most effective social sales tool, and I'll explain why that is. And I also want you to feel really connected. So you know how to create your powerful profile and how to reach out to people and get a lot of engagement there. It's because I really want you to be happy, like a carefree child, like this cute little baby. So that's my ideal role for today, or for this morning, and moving on as well. So just a little bit about me. I'm not going to tell you my whole life story, but I've spent 15 years working in corporate, private, independent and government environments throughout Australia and also in London. Just a couple of my career highlights to showcase that I kind of know what I'm talking about is I was chosen to represent Australia and Samsung at the 2012 London Olympic Games. I was there for the 4 weeks interviewing lots of athletes and looking after all the social channels for Samsung and reporting back. So that was a really exciting, wonderful opportunity for me. And I also have been the host of my own radio show. So in Western Australia and New South Wales, lots and lots of fun, great ways of learning how to engage with people. And I really enjoyed that experience. And obviously I've got a very big, keen interest in the media because I did a film degree. That was my first degree. And then I followed that up with a teaching degree and taught media for 6 years as well. So I know my stuff. All right, so that's a little bit about me. And now we're going to get into the nitty gritty of some statistics and also your actual profile. So let's have a look at some of the changes that have happened over time. If we look at even 15 years ago or a decade ago, there was not much, in terms of the way that you market your business. So you maybe have a few mediums, you had TV, you had magazines, you had newspapers. The information was scarce. The purchasing power was in the hands of the seller, and the organisational power was in the hands of the sales. So sales could sort of say anything to you, and you could go about your business and buy that because you thought that was the only one for you, because that's the only choice that you had and that's the only information that you had. If we shift that to today, there is an overwhelming abundance of information out there about your products and about competition and about price, and it's all very overwhelming for customers when they're trying to find you. You've got all these social channels, you've got websites, you've got search engine optimization that you need to be aware of, all of these different sorts of things. And the consumers' purchasing decisions have actually changed over time too, because they now do a lot of the research before they even give you a call. So you really do need to have a good, solid presence on social media and your other channels as well. The purchasing power has now shifted from the seller to the buyer, as I just explained, and the organizational power has shifted from sales, who just get in there and sell it. It's pretty easy. Well, I'm sure it had its challenges, but it was a lot easier back then, to marketing, because marketing need to open the door for you, and then the sales come in and they sell it. So why focus on LinkedIn, and why did I choose to actually specialize in this particular social media? People come with the mindset to do business with LinkedIn as opposed to any other media. And I know that myself. I mean, I look at Facebook when I go to bed at 11:30 at night just to check out what my friends are doing. But I'm on LinkedIn during the day. I'm checking out what people are saying. I'm looking at groups. I'm engaging with new connections. And it's so interesting and so exciting to meet some amazing people, even from throughout Australia and throughout the world as well. There are 9 million members in Australia and New Zealand alone on LinkedIn, which is absolutely phenomenal. And imagine tapping into just 10% of that, like 1% of that, 900,000 people. Bingo! It's a great audience that you have there, and it's a captive audience as well. And statistics show, this is proven research, that LinkedIn is 277% more effective for lead generation than Facebook or Twitter. It's true, it's been researched, and that's the given fact. And over 80% of business-to-business conversions come from LinkedIn. That's massive, like 80%. You make a connection, teach you how to actually develop that relationship, and then you can convert. And it's all from a fairly inexpensive profile on LinkedIn. Now we're going to get into the absolute nitty-gritty of the profile. So let's start off with this picture. And I wanted to do a bit of a comparison here, a bit of an analogy. If you're going to go in and buy an apartment, which one is more appealing here? I definitely know that the bottom one is so much more appealing. There's a story there, there's light to it, there's character, there's furniture. You can see how it's all developing. It's modern, it's awesome. I want to live there. The first one, I have no idea about where my furniture is going to go. That has no life whatsoever. It's blank, it's bland, don't want to have a bar of it. The reason I use those pictures is because it's exactly the same as your profile. You need to fill your profile with as much information as you can, but it all needs to focus around the fact of why your business even exists. Who is your ideal client? And how are you reflecting that ideal client in everything that you say on your LinkedIn profile? And how will they know you can help them? So what problem is it that you are solving? Why did you start your business in the first place? And how can you help them? A picture tells 1,000 words. You have 3 seconds to make an impression on LinkedIn. That is not much time. And Sue, I think you have a great photo. Alex, as well, you have a really good photo. And Heather, if she was listening to this, she also has a decent photo. So you don't need to know this, but I think it's important to just go through this. The first person on the left-hand side, just very quickly, she's very casual. She's, you know, it looks like a Facebook photo. She looks friendly and stuff, but I don't really want to do business with her. The one in the middle is a classic one, and it's obviously a bit of a dramatization of my example here. But, I mean, that's from the 80s. It's a great glamour shot and really cool colors, but it's old, it's fun. I don't want to do business with her. And the last one, while that's a great professional shot, the lighting's good, it looks, you know, professional. There's no connection whatsoever with me. He's looking away from the camera, you know, he's got a smirk on his face. There's no connection whatsoever with him. If I compare it now to this first lady, she's very friendly looking, she's professional, she's giving me sort of a cheeky sort of smile. She might do, I don't know, she might do nutrition or health or counseling, I'm not sure, but I'm quite willing to do some business with her just from a photo, but I'd have to obviously look at the rest of the profile as well. This guy is awesome. He's looking straight down the barrel of the lens. He's confident. His energy is just the bam. And, you know, and he looks friendly and approachable as well. And I included my photo as well, not to be vain or anything. In fact, I really don't like photos usually, but I used a specialist in Brisbane that all he does, he started a business in doing headshots. And the reason he is so good is he's able to capture the essence of your business profile and your business face. And hopefully I come across as quite professional there, confident, but also approachable as well. So after your photo, the most important part, or you know, equally important part, is your headline. Now I've included a picture again here, and it's a very straightforward example here. There's a blank photo, there's a blank banner at the top there, and then down the bottom it's need a plumber. Now the equivalent on your headline would be on the blank banner is to say CEO of company XYZ, or director or founder of company XYZ. The people who are looking at your profile have no idea what company XYZ is. They don't really care. Great, you're a CEO, awesome. Anyone can be a CEO of a company. What they want to know is what your problem is that you are solving. Welcome, Heather. I'm so pleased that you finally got in. I'm sorry about those technical difficulties at the start. What you've got is 120 characters to hook your audience in to be found. And within those 120 characters, you need to really illustrate what you do, not what you are. And that is incredibly important. So these could be a couple of catchphrases that really illustrate the problems you are solving. It could be a statement. It could be a question. And if you're a bit concerned that you don't know exactly how to write that, I'll be looking at that a little bit more when I talk about a workshop later on today. The headline also needs to be really memorable and enticing, so kind of clever and creative and catchy, and it needs to clearly show what problem you solve and who you solve it for, which is really important. Because remember, there's 9 million people on LinkedIn. You want to capture your main target, and then, you know, sales should be fairly straightforward and clearly illustrate your value proposition. Now, moving on to your summary, which is your second most critical point. And these are some common mistakes that people actually make. So the summary is either too short or it doesn't exist at all. You have 2,000 characters to strut your stuff, and you need to use every single one of them. But it's not about you, it's about the problems you're solving. The reason I also mentioned 170 characters for mobile and 363 for desktop is because in the new format that LinkedIn has just implemented, if you haven't already, you will really soon have a new format and look for your LinkedIn profile. Only 170 of those characters show up on your mobile device and 363 show up on your desktop device. So how important is that content real estate? That is incredibly important. And I'll have a look at how we can best use those characters and that moment in time to really sell what you do. Here's another common mistake. People write all about them, their great achievements. Woohoo, excellent. I know you're awesome, but I don't really care, because what I'm looking for is that I've got a problem. I'm going on to LinkedIn. Oh, bam. Sue does this, Heather does this, Alex does this. Excellent. That's something that I'm looking for. I'll shoot her a little message and say, hey, I'm interested in finding out a little bit more about this. Can we connect? So it needs to be about the people that you're serving. And also another big mistake is they don't have a call to action. How do people touch base with you? What would you like them to do in order to contact you to do business with you? It's pretty simple. Email me for a free consultation. Check out my website to find out when my next event is, that sort of thing. Your summary also really needs to show your personality. So it can't be, you know, it's got to be written really professionally, but also, you know, be a little bit fun with some of the words you use. Really reflect the person that you are, because I know that you're all really cool people, actually. and your expertise. You need to build trust through the things that you're talking about, through the problems that you're mentioning that you solve. And of course, the call to action, as I mentioned. Now, going back just quickly for that summary and the characters, as I mentioned before, I will be talking about a workshop later on. So if you're kind of stressing about, oh gosh, I don't even know what to write, Christy, I'm going to be covering that soon. So no stress needed whatsoever. Very quickly, we're just going to look at some other parts of your profile, because the headline, summary, and your photo are really the most important parts, but these also seal the deal, so to speak. So experience is incredibly important. The jobs that you've done in the past validate your present. And there was some research done recently. I'm sorry I've forgotten the percentages at the moment, but I know for a fact that it's like 60% of people are more inclined to go with you as a salesperson or to go with your business if you have clearly demonstrated your background experience that has led to where you are today. So that's that trust building and that's expertise building as well. Endorsements are really important. They're the skills and experience at the bottom of your profile that you get your connections to endorse you for. And the really important thing is to try and order them and have your top 3 right at the top of your skill-based area, so that people know exactly what you do fairly quickly. And if you don't know how to order them, I can quickly show you that at the end of this web event. Yeah, education is also very important, depending on which industry you are, of course. If you're a doctor or a counsellor or a psychiatrist or something like that, you do need pieces of paper to show that you know what you're talking about and you're certified. And recommendations, these are worth their weight in gold. Honestly, I've checked out a few people recently, and I've gone through and checked out their endorsements and what they do and blah, blah, blah. And then I look at their recommendations, which is incredibly important as well, because it seals the deal for me. I'll say, oh, okay, Alfred thought that they were really great for these reasons. Jemima thought they were really great for these reasons. So recommendations are also really, really important as well. So I've talked about a lot of things just then in the last, say, 15 minutes or so. So just have a little bit of a reflection of what we've talked about. So how to look at why it's important to have a presence on LinkedIn, why LinkedIn is the best social sales tool for business-to-business engagement and leads, and the most important aspects to focus on when writing your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so it's all well and good, Christy, that you've gone through all of this information, which is really great, and I'm really hoping that everybody's learned at least one thing that's going to completely change their lives from this day forth. But the hard thing is to know what to write and how to write it. I think you'd agree with that, because I also found this challenging when I first started out. So what I'm going to be offering, as I mentioned earlier in the summary section and the headline section, is I'm going to be hosting a practical workshop where we can get these things done. And I'm going to teach you some formulas about how to write a headline, how to write some of your summary sections and the other parts of your profile. And the great thing about this practical workshop is you'll actually get an opportunity to network with others in your local community that are business owners as well, at the same level as you, and you never know, you may get some sort of sale out of it as well. So what we're going to look at specifically in the workshop is we're going to have a quick tour of your LinkedIn profile and the key tools, because as I said, in March, LinkedIn will have a full rollover of their new format across the board. So you may not know where everything is, and I'll be able to reintroduce you to all the elements of your profile. We'll also have a look at how you can set an excellent first impression by writing a powerful profile, and what and how to write a powerful profile using templates and formulas to help you. So we're also going to have a very quick look at groups. These are great opportunities for you to show that you're a thought leader in your environment. You're also a giver, because you're giving back to conversations that are started within these groups. And we'll have a look at what groups to join, how to interact in those groups. We'll also have a look at how to connect with people with etiquette, what sort of messages to send them and how to engage them. And we're also going to look at this fancy thing called an attraction marketing strategy to develop relationships. And ultimately, you're going to learn some proven strategies to succeed. So my workshop, I'm hoping that you will be available on this day, Friday, the 24th of March from 9 to 12:30 in Varsity Lakes. I don't know if you've been to Watso. It's a cool co-working space. There's a bright little glass room in the top corner, and we'll have some tea, we'll have some coffee. We'll bring your laptops because we're going to get lots of work done. So if you're interested in coming along to this workshop, it's 3.5 hours of practical work where you actually get things done. I'll guide you through the things that you need to know. If you book today, the first 5 only, it's $199 plus $9.95 booking fee. There's no GST charge because I'm just starting out. The full price is $249 plus the booking fee, so you're saving about $50 there or $60. And includes templates, work done, tea, coffee, and building networks with others. So that's pretty cool. So now we've got to the end of the formalities. The link to my workshop, I'm just going to try and put in the chat section here. There we go. So here's the link to my workshop if you want to click on and have a look at it. And now I'd love to open it up to everybody here. If you've got any questions that you'd like me to ask or anything you'd like to go through.